Okay, so in our kids' corral at church, we've been learning, and how many of you know the story of the baby Moses? Well, you know about that story, right? Because we've been studying the kids' corral. We're going to I'm going to tell you the story, and then what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can find the baby Moses somewhere on the river. Now, here's the reason we're going to look for the baby Moses on the river. You know the story in the book of Exodus in the Bible where the Hebrew children were in Egypt and they were slaves to the Egyptians. And the king of the Egyptians was becoming afraid of all of the Hebrews because there were so many of them. And he said, you know, if we keep allowing the Hebrew families to grow pretty soon, there are going to be more of them than all of the Egyptians, and they may not like us anymore. They might turn on us and try to take over our kingdom. So here's what we're going to do. So the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, said, okay, for all Hebrew baby boys that are born, the baby boys are not going to be able to survive, and only the girls will. And this is how we got the story of Moses. So Moses' mom found out that she was going to have a baby. And when the baby was born, they discovered it was a little boy. And they knew that because it was a baby boy that it was going to be really hard for him to survive, particularly if the Egyptian people found out about it. So how many of you remember what Moses' mother did? What did she do?
She just floated him on the river.
Yeah, she took him and she wrapped him in some blankets and she put him in a basket that she made that she had put tar or pitch on, and she hid him in the reeds along the Nile River. And she prayed and asked God to take care of him and keep him safe so that he would live. Well, guess what happened? So here's baby Moses. He's floating in this basket, just a little baby, in the reeds. Well, that particular day, the king, the Pharaoh, his daughter, decided that she was going down to the river to have her bath. When she walked down to the river, she heard the sound of a baby crying. And so she went with her servants over and she pulled back the reeds, and there was a basket. And she opened the basket and there was baby Moses. She picked up the baby and she gave it to one of her servants and said, "This is one of the Hebrew children. Take him and see if you can find someone who would nurse him and care for him so that he will be okay," because she didn't want to see anything bad happen to him. And you know what the daughter of Pharaoh's servant did? She said, "I know someone who could probably take care of him." And she took baby Moses back to his mother. And God took care of him and planned all of that. And she gave him back to his mom, and she took care of him and raised him so that he became a great leader, not only in Egypt, but among the Hebrews, and he became a great leader for God. He led the children of Israel out of Egypt into the promised land. And we tell that story, we've been learning that story in our kids' corral because it reminds us that just as God took care of the baby Moses, he takes care of us. He kept him safe, and he provided someone to care for him, just like he cares for us, keeps us safe, and provides our parents and our family members to help keep us safe. So here's what we're going to do. Some of our friends have been helping us, and we are going to have baby Moses on the San Marcos River so we can remember this story. And here's what we're